Hi, I'm Shelley, resident of Victoria, Australia, and someone who loves to travel. This presentation is part of my private project to see as much as possible of my home state by public transport, now that it's so affordable, especially when compared to the price of petrol. This instalment is about a day trip to Bendigo, one of our gold rush towns and still a thriving regional city. As always, I planned my journey on the V-Line page. These trains couldn't be booked online because the journey was within the Myki zone, so my son and I just used our Myki cards. My day cost $10, the maximum, because we travelled on a weekday, it being the school holidays, and my son's cost a bit less than that. Having left Southern Cross just after 7, we arrived at Bendigo station a little after 9. Apparently the delay was caused by getting stuck behind another train as we were supposed to get there just before 9. As we got closer, my son asked what we were doing today, and I said I thought we'd take the talking tram and also check out the gold mine and the art gallery. When he realised it wasn't a very specific plan, he asked, "So what prompted this trip?" I took this to mean, "What harebrained idea do you have now?" Anyway, got him out of the house for the day. While Google Maps tried to send us from this side of the station, it looked like crossing to the other side and walking from there would be more interesting, so that's what we did. Just outside the station is the Science and Technology Museum. We didn't go there, but it looked like it had some cool features like a planetarium. Now, as I mentioned, we were planning on doing the talking tram tour. Of the two attractions I wanted to visit, the stop for the art gallery was closer to the station. However, the gold mine opened at 9:30 and the art gallery and talking tram opened at 10. We therefore decided to walk to the Central Deborah gold mine. Google Maps was all we needed to get us there. It was a little over a 20-minute walk. We could have booked the tram tickets, which include the above ground access to the mine, online, but we hadn't decided yet if we wanted to do the below ground tour, and we weren't sure if there was a bundle that included below ground, above ground, and the tram. So we waited to buy our tickets at the mine. There didn't seem to be that bundle as it turned out, so easily could have bought them online. The underground tour of the mine was 75 minutes, which we thought was a little long for what we were trying to fit into the day. We therefore decided to just purchase our tram tour, which included the above ground experience. For the two of us, adult and child, this was $20. There was so much to see on the above ground experience. We started at the change rooms, where the miners would shower before walking naked from the dirty room to the room where their clean clothes were in order to go home. As you can tell, this was a company mine. Apparently miners in the 1940s considered the facilities at this mine to be excellent. These poppets used to be all over Bendigo. The bird end pans work by a heavy cast iron ball rolling around to crush the rock. I'm not going to show you all of my photos or give the whole history, but there was so much to see here. We even got to try panning for gold. I was very interested to hear that they will host birthday parties underground in the mine. Unfortunately, my son's a bit too old for that type of party and we live a bit far away. Maybe I'll hold one for myself instead. They also had a museum with molds of some of the most famous gold nuggets. and a laboratory and a display about Alfred Nobel, who created the Nobel Prizes so that he would be remembered for something other than as the inventor of dynamite. I think he was here because he was the inventor of dynamite. I really want to show you everything we saw, but I'm going to restrain myself. So now we're off to the tram stop at the entrance to the mine to get on the talking tram. Our first tram was the yarn bombing tram, which was very cool. The next stop was the stop for the art gallery, so we weren't on the tram for very long. We did, however, to get to hear a bit of the history of Bendigo as we travelled. It really is a beautiful town. We looked at the outside of several buildings and checked inside the old post office, where the post office gallery and tourist information are, before walking through Rosalind Park up to the Bendigo Art Gallery. So that quote, this is from a special exhibition they had there, but it's "What's a million years to water? A mere drop, drip, drop, and the landscape's transformed." The breadth of Bendigo's art collection is a testament to how rich the town was in its heyday. There was more gold found in Bendigo than in all the other mining regions in Victoria combined. The building itself is stunning as well. We left time to climb to the top of the Poppet Head Lookout at the back of the art gallery before walking back to continue on the tram. I hadn't realised that we were visiting at the right time for the Bloom Festival, but those tulips were wonderful. The talking tram is not a round trip. Rather, it goes out to the Joss house and back. You hear a lot of Bendigo's history along the way. There were a few photos I missed getting, such as the paved creek bed. This was necessary because of the way the bed got churned up by all the gold activities. So most of the time it's literally the tram talking, that is, it's a recording. But at the Joss House stop, there are a few minutes before you go back. The temple is only open on Saturdays and Sundays, so we stayed on the tram and the conductor told us several stories. My favourite was how the temple was due to be demolished to make way for an airstrip. Everything had been removed from inside it by the Friday, and demolition was due to start on the Monday. It rained solidly from the Friday night for 4 days, and the amount of rain was such that it demonstrated that the ground was completely inappropriate for an airstrip, so the plan was abandoned, and that's why the temple is still standing today. So that's just something of divine intervention. We had agreed to have lunch at the Beechworth Bakery, Bendigo, which is kind of a weird concept because Beechworth is another Victorian gold mining town. This was a short walk from the first stop at the gold mine, and our plan was to eat there and then catch the tram back to stop 2 and walk to the station from there. However, we passed the bakery on our way into the first stop, so we decided that it made most sense just to walk direct to the station from the bakery, so that's what we did. And then we caught the train home and we're back in Melbourne in time for tea. We focused only on the gold mine and the gallery. They are by no means the only things to do in Bendigo. We were tempted to check out Bendigo pottery. We have seen the Golden Dragon Museum fairly recently. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It has the 2 longest Chinese dragons in the world, And it's so interesting to me that the Chinese community in Australia has kept traditions alive that have actually started being lost in China. At the time we went, the Tramways Museum was not open and the trams were not stopping there. I don't know the reason for this, so I don't know when or if they will resume. There's a lot more to see besides, and it would be easy to spend several days. Here are a few helpful links. The Talking Tram site did seem to be a bit hit and miss, so but I'm sure if you just do a search for Bendigo Talking Tram, you'll be fine. So that's it. Thank you.